Hello, everyone. Good morning. I'm Cristina Reni from the International Trade Center, and I'm very happy to welcome you today to this Alliances for Action series of webinar called Taste Online, Improving Your Digital Marketing Strategy for Caribbean Food SMEs. This is our first webinar, so we're very happy to be launching this today. And I just wanted to let you know a bit about ITC's work, Alliances for Action. We're working with the small and medium enterprises in the Caribbean and in the food industry. Later today, if you want to know more about us, I will send you a survey that you can fill out to let us know about you if you don't know yet about us. And that this series, we're doing it in partnership with Caribbean Export Development Agency. So it's a pleasure to work here with Caribbean Export to bring you these sessions. And it's funded by the European Union, the Organization of African, Caribbean and Pacific States, the CARI Forum, and also the UK Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office as part of the UK Trade Partnership Program. So that's it. This is, as I said, a series of webinars, 9 webinars that are starting today, every Thursday at the same time. And for today, I have a big pleasure to start this series, welcoming Tamia Carey, who's our marketing expert, the director of a STOSH marketing agency, who will be giving today a very important session on brand storytelling, the importance of brands and the story behind the brands and how you can tell the story so you can be successful in creating commercial linkages and for your business. So I'm not going to take more of the Tamia's time, who's have prepared a very beautiful webinar and training session for all of you today. So thank you very much, Tamia, and over to you.
Morning, everybody. We're going to look through some case studies, and we're going to tell you a bit about our company. We're from Kingston, Jamaica. We do marketing throughout the Caribbean, the USA, and UK. I hope that you benefit from it, and I hope that you're able, if you can, to take photographs of certain screens, so that post-event you're able to look it up if we're going a little too fast, you know. Jody, can you share our slides? All right, so today we're going to look at how to create a brand story. Every brand has the beginning to the end, but it's very important how you package it. We're from Stush Marketing. We do video production, e-zines, branding, multimedia, social media, infographics. We also do a lot of TV commercials and grassroots marketing. Some of our clients include UN Women, the government of Jamaica, RADA, Pepsi, Flow, Lasco, Tico, a long list. So we believe in a 360-degree marketing solution. In content creation, we believe that whatever you're doing, if you're filming something, you do behind the scenes photo, video, you get as much content as you can so that it can be used post-event. Good storytelling is recording the entire thing. Maybe you have tidbits at the end that can be used again. And of course, digital advertising. With the changes on Facebook and Instagram now, you may have these large numbers or small numbers, but it's only going out to about 5% of your numbers if you're not using digital advertising. So social media is now requiring that. At Stush, content is our specialty. So we're known for having beautiful websites, great e-zines. An e-zine is a great way to give back to your to people who are involved in your process if you're a large company. And an e-zine is much cheaper than printing it, and you can send it to many parts of the world for cents to the dollar, you know. Photography is a big part of our thing too. We work with quite a few beverage people, as well as people who go farm to table. Custom artwork is great. I know you think that custom artwork is difficult, but we're going to give you like some free apps that you can go on and make your own artwork, and they have great things in it. And it's amazing to think about that you can do it for free. So about this first video is it's an emotional video, and this is how this company tells their story. They've been around for many years in Jamaica. They ship live lobster. They also export conch. And what's great about this video, I want you to kind of, after you watch it, think about, while you're watching it, think about the voice, think about the content, and this is how they told their story, and think how it would apply to your story.
From the pristine waters of the Caribbean Sea, a vision was born when a 30-year-old marine pilot's son started the first commercial fishery in Jamaica. The first steps in a journey that would see the company extend its reach to the very corners of the globe. So what makes us different? Yes, we sell seafood globally, but it is so much more than that. The ocean is life to be treated with respect, ensuring the balance of nature and sustainable responsible fishing. Working in part, improving their livelihood and safety, our diverse workforce delivers quality harvesting and processing with care and responsibility, promising to get the right products to the right place at the right time. Thanks to a family of dedicated people, but above all, our word is our bond and into the future. We are B&D.
So B&D chose that gentleman who has voiced over, who has a very commanding voice. It's also, when you're using people for your voiceovers, you want to think about the fact that you want them to tell this story, but be credible and sound credible. Jody, you can go to the next slide. Can you open up the Instagram? So now, how B&D portrays itself, as it said, it was fresh quality seafood. So when we look on their Instagram page, we notice that they have tidbits, whether it's, at first they have pillars. So the pillars are conch, fish, shrimp, crab, lobster. So those are all the stuff that they carry in their seafood outlets. And some of those items are export items. So at the bottom of your Instagram, you'll see that you can put those circles in. Very important for you, because now for each item, you can have a circle that is called a pillar, which is able to now allow anybody coming to look you up to see the different things you offer, or just to look for what they're looking for. So it kind of makes it a little more transparent. Then as we go down the page, you see that they kind of share their story. Jody, can you scroll down for me? So most of these photos are either from their boat or they're on the seafront actually. So that is the feeling that they like to give. If you notice who creates their page, the color is kind of color coordinated so that it's a little more appealing to the eye and very magazine type. So you see the seafood that they offer. You also see their whole holistic approach of the sea, which was spoken about in their video. So it's very important that your brand voice also looks like what you're trying to create, the look and feel of your company. You can scroll down a little more for me, Jody. Yeah. So so as we look through, we see where, so their thing is they show you where they're going. They talk about the sea. They have that natural approach. They show you how you can prepare the meals. They also show sometimes raw seafood. So that is how they create their brand voice. This company is many years old, and it kind of takes a while to get your brand voice, but if you keep writing down little tidbits from your beginning to your end, then you can say, okay, well, this is who I am. This is how I started, and everybody starts small. So it's a matter of recording all the little parts. Maybe I went to Farmer Joe and he gave me this, and I went to this company, they gave me this. Maybe this company turned me down. So you want to remember the good and the bad parts. So when you're creating that story, it's memorable and it has the high and lows, because everybody lives off of that whole high and low experience. That's how they remember you most of the time. Let's look at another brand story. Okay, so this is a really great one.
My name is Brad Finkel. I'm the owner of Hoboken Farms, 30 weekly farm markets, one awesome sandwich shop, Big Red Marinara, voted best sauce in the country by the Wall Street Journal. We started 20 years ago at 2nd and Willow Avenue in Anthony Sackey's butcher shop, and a fellow named Peter Baronio, who was a Hoboken guy, the economic development coordinator for Englewood, New Jersey, said we're having a farm market. So my friend Nikki and I made 50 pounds of mozzarella, Don made 50 loaves of bread, and we went over to Englewood, New Jersey, and we set up. And we sold it out in about an hour. And the next week we brought 100 loaves and 100 pounds, we sold it out in a half hour. In 1987, I was lucky enough to be part of a thing called DECA, Distributive Education Clubs of America, and you happen to be looking at the state champion entrepreneurship division. But one of the things that it taught me was how important a business plan is. And everything we do, if it's rolling out a new line of anything, if it's sauce, if it's a sandwich shop, if it's a new farm market, we do a business plan. And that business plan is not there to answer why it's going to work. It's to answer why it's not going to work. Look at it, if somebody that you don't respect is coming to you with this harebrained idea, look at it through that critical eye. I think that one of the most important things about leading a team is to practice servant leadership. It's about yourself, right? Hoboken Farms is not about me. It's about my team and about what they can then provide for the customer. We feed them, they feed us, it goes round and round, and it really is an unbelievable metaphor of how to be able to do business. We are going to do anything and everything that we possibly can to be able to maintain and delight that customer. We define a delight as that extra special goodie that nobody asked for, but that they got.
So in this brand storytelling, if you listen to what he said in the beginning, so he started by going to a farmer's market. He never had a brick and mortar, and the farmer's market is what grew him. So sometimes we have production issues and we may not be ready for the supermarket, but there are other places we can be. We can be in small stores, we can do online deliveries. We have to choose what area we're at and really where we're starting. His story was great because he was able to partner with another person, the butcher, as well as different farmers to create his brand. Jody, can you go to the Instagram for me? The next page. So on his Instagram, I think he has a different way of presenting. So he has videos of his work, recipes, and the market, but his entire thing is around this red truck. So this red truck is on everything. This red truck is on his labels. Go down for me, Jody. On his labels, every time he's advertising, this is his mascot. You see him having photographs of people in the supermarket, people using it. It's on shelves. So, you may not be able to always have a great or huge budget, but you can create your own content, even photographs on the shelf, photographs beside things that you're going to use with it. You can use your phone and become a great photographer and create your own content. But again, you have to decide on your brand voice and where you want to be. This is very important. Jody, you want to go to the next slide for me?
Idea about a natural and sustainable brand, but it wasn't without risk.
Oh, okay. So this guy is a big man at L'Oreal and he works in that makeup line, and he decided that he wanted to create something sustainable. This video is a little longer, but you'll show where he has his resilience and he has his commitment to the brand. And even when they tell him no, he still goes through the door. He still walks up and goes to the people and represents, because he's very heartfelt about the situation. You can play it now, Jody.
My morning ritual begins early at 5 a.m. I'm immediately with a cup of tea out taking care of the animals, feeding everyone. And then I'm back up to the house for a moment of solitude. I run several brands in L'Oreal in addition to founding a startup brand within the company. It means that my brain is going 100 different directions all the time. I try to dedicate 30 minutes to ground myself and to really think about what are the priorities for that day and what I need to achieve. Growing up on a farm was very fulfilling, but I never completely fit in. I was a bit of a black sheep because I was so attracted to the creative worlds of fashion and art. And while studying art, I met several people in the industry and ultimately found my home there. Later in life, I'm perhaps lost touch with those early connections to the earth. But then I had an occasion to go to work for a man who was a pioneer in the natural products movement. And he allowed me to bring the two sides of my life together and to believe that I actually can make a difference in the beauty industry while being true to something I genuinely care about, which is the protection and care of our planet. So I had this idea for a new natural and sustainable brand with seeds at the heart that I wanted to propose in L'Oreal. The seed is the most potent part of the plant, and if you can safely extract those seed oils, they're amazing ingredients for hair and skin. I proposed this idea, and it's completely contrary to the vision that the organization had for me. What if it failed? What if it didn't work in the end? Well, we had one final pitch opportunity in Paris. So we packed up suitcases with everything imaginable out of my barn, like work gloves and tools. We even brought bluegrass music and blended some essential oils to spray in the room. It looked like you were stepping into my barn. An indescribable moment, and I wasted no time getting started. We opened a small office in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, in order to be close to the farmers who grow our seeds for us. And regardless of what the yield is, we pay for 100% of it. This way, they can always count on that income. One of the things that this small team has done that we're most proud of is having created the industry's first shower-safe paper bottle. If we hadn't been able to find a way to we wouldn't have launched. So we found this paper packaging, reached out to the company who had made it. We got a message saying, sorry, we're not taking new customers at this time. So we jumped on a plane, flew out to Northern California, knocked on the door and said, we are not leaving here until you speak to us. She was like, you are the craziest person I've ever met in my life, and I have to work with you. One of the fantastic things about starting the brand scene other big businesses is that one day I get to exercise the love that I have of the beauty industry. And then the very next day, I'm back out on the farm picking sunflower seeds to create products for seed phytonutrients. My hope for the future is that beauty and sustainable beauty are no longer considered two different things. It's just going to be beauty.
So what was good about his story is the fact that his relationship with the farmer. He was very good about saying he has a relationship with the farmers, but he didn't really put the farmers totally out there, and you don't have to because it's your product. So when you're marketing, you want to make sure that you also keep the targets of yourself in that marketing tool. It's nice that it was very good that he showed you the farmer and the sustainability and everything of it, but yet still you are always brand focused on what he's doing and what his brand is. Can you open his Instagram for us? So on his Instagram, these are his pillars: how to use his products, the farm, spotted news, seeds, people and place. So these are his pillars of his company. So in your brand voice, you're supposed to have those pillars. And then you use those pillars and you post about them daily. So there is his biodegradable bottle. There are products of how he, that's probably his apartment somewhere. Scroll down for me, Jody. And you see where you can see the product that's in the bottle. So I'm not a big fan of buying. I like to see my product. So that shot for me is a sell, because now I can see the gel that's inside the metal canister, you know, which is really great. So when you're thinking about your brand, you want to think about it that way too. He also shows how you apply the product. I guess you guys with food would show how you eat or cook the product. So we want to think about it that way and have a 360. So when you create your pillars at the top, what you do is that each month you make sure you're posting, and what you're posting is put towards at least one of those key elements that makes up your brand. Next, Jody. All right, so this is a really good story because it's a
Decades ago,
company.
few Americans knew what coffee was, and some thought it came from a can. But a small retailer from Seattle. and later became the biggest coffee house chain in the world, Starbucks. While the company was founded by three friends, it wasn't them who transformed Starbucks into a $100 billion company. It was an outsider, a poor kid from Brooklyn who had just graduated from high school the year that Starbucks was born. In 1962, Gordon Bowker was a student at the University of San Francisco and was traveling across Europe. At a cafe in Rome, he ordered a cappuccino. Immediately, he was taken back by the taste. It was different, amazing, and unforgettable. At the time, most Americans drank instant coffee at home or overcooked coffee in diners. When he returned to the US, he dropped out of USF and moved back to his hometown, Seattle. To feed his habit, he would drive from Seattle to Vancouver, BC to visit Murchie's, a shop that sold and roasted coffee beans. In 1970, Gordon was on his way home from a coffee run and came up with the idea of opening up a shop in Seattle. He told his two friends, Jerry Baldwin and Steve Siegel, about the idea. The three of them decided to go into business together and visited Peet's Coffee in Berkeley. It was owned by Alfred Peet, the son of an Amsterdam coffee trader. Alfred roasted his coffee dark, the European way, because it brought out the full flavors of the beans. Within weeks, Alfred taught Gordon, Jerry, and Steve how to run the business and roast coffee the European way. The same year, Howard Schultz just graduated high school and was enrolling in Northern Michigan University. He was the first person in his family to go to college through an athletic scholarship. During his first season, he got injured and had to quit football. To pay for school, he took out loans, worked as a bartender, and sometimes sold his blood. After graduating from college, he got a job in Xerox's sales training program and became a successful salesman. But eventually, he started to feel restless and wanted something more challenging. So he ended up working for Hammerplast, a Swedish company that sold kitchen equipment and housewares. He worked his way up to becoming a vice president and general manager. He was given a $75,000 salary, a company car, an expense account, and unlimited travel. Still, he felt like something was missing.
So these 5 points on the right are very important. You need to define the mission and your brand personality. So when you're speaking online, you need to know what is the age consumer, who are you speaking to, what jargon will you use? Are you hip and 20, driving a sports car, living in the hills? Are you mature and 35 with a car, a job, maybe a child? What voice is going to make your brand personality? What's going to make it appealing? Further down, we're going to talk about the target audience, but your target audience, you need to know what appeals to them, right? If it's that it's a house you're selling in the supermarket and maybe it's something for children, then you know you need to appeal to the mother who goes to the supermarket or father. So make sure that your ads are geared to them. It speaks to things that a mother or father would want to hear, or whoever is going to the supermarket, you know? You want to tell the real story. That's why I said, you know, it's so touching to hear even that Starbucks story where they came from basically nothing. Then they decided that they found something they really appreciated. They went and got trained by the best, and then they started their own thing. So this story is documented very nicely for us to now see how from even just the beginning, it's important. Make up your main characters. Make sure that when you're doing that too, that there's not anybody who crosses over your path, you know, even though there are people that help you along the way. Just like in the first video with the man from L'Oreal, he mentioned the farmer, but maybe not the farmer's name. So you want to make sure that when you're making your main characters, they're not in competition with your voice. And of course, adding up visuals. So maybe you go to buy a machine for your company, you take photos of that machine. Maybe you're doing your first cooking of using the product, taste testing, you take photographs. Right now, phones are so great that you can even make your own home videos from it, and we'll show you some editing tools that you can use that make it look brand perfect. So visuals are very important to always get. Can we open up their Instagram? Where we're opening everybody's Instagram is that they post from Instagram over to Facebook, but when you look on Instagram, you're able to see a little more definition. So these are their pillars: summer sips, earth month, zodiac, we're open, social impact, sustainability. So you would choose your own pillars. We're going to answer all the questions at the end. Sorry about that. I was reading a question. So yes, so they show you people all over the world drinking their brand. And they've created such a beautiful cup that we find that a lot of people, and they write your name on the cup to personalize it. They call your name when you're in Starbucks. So there's this extra feeling and this extra participation. The purpose of the pillars is to kind of define your voice and define you as an individual. So maybe you do coconuts, but maybe you do coconut oil, coconut shredded, coconut water, coconut creams. No, the pillars, you would divide each thing that you supply into that space. And maybe you'd also show them the process, parts of the process, you know, so that they feel a part of your brand, as well as they feel that safety when they see how it's being produced. So the biggest thing for Starbucks that they encourage their patrons to do is to show their cup, photograph their cup where they are, tag them back, they repost, and the repost shows gratitude back to the customers. So there are different ways to have people create content for you. You know, you don't always have to do all of your content yourself.
It starts.
So this is a over 100-year-old company. They have flavorings, colorings, a wide range of products. But in this video, I'd like you to see how they do their food placement, and they make it interactive.
With the aroma of grandma's cake recipe baked to perfection. The spice of ginger blended with pineapple. The splash of sauce finishing off your jerk chicken. Rich browning makes the oxtail just right. Vibrant vanilla, amazing almond, resplendent rose water. Oh, embrace the sweet, savory, and spice of Benjamin's. Full of flavor.
So in that ad, it's nice where you see the family interaction, and they've made it an event. So sometimes when you're doing your ads or communicating with your customer, you can also be time sensitive. Maybe 4th of July is coming up, or a big holiday. So maybe before the big holiday, you're going to do a little video of how they can utilize your products on the holiday. So that now would push, you try and do that 2 weeks before, so that when you put your ads out on it, it's top of the mind to people before the event. So then they can choose your products to be a part of their day. Now, this commercial we're going to show you is done on very little budget. So all you pay for is a voiceover and a phone.
Yeah, this abonne half nice. Pour that vanilla on me. Oh, we can see the history in that bataya. More than 100 years what a Benjamin's in this. Benjamin's vanilla. Full of flavor.
A trusted name for over a century.
So that commercial, you don't have to have a lot of ad budget. The voiceover was also done with the phone. So if you guys really start Googling, you can find all these free apps that you could put the video and the voiceover together. There's no talent in the video to pay. You don't even see a hand. So you want to think about these things when you're doing your stuff, and how you can best create stuff that is within budget. Okay, empowering the story. So you want to create this story that's really memorable. You want to tell your story to everybody you possibly can. You want to have an emotional part where, you know, when you tell your story, sometimes you may only tell it to 5 people, but if even 3 of those people were touched, they tell 4 or 6 others. So it's kind of this web of explosivity of your brand, you know. So that's why it's very important that you have your little story together of how you started, where you've reached, and every year you write more lines to this story as you get bigger, because everybody who's large started small. So it's very important that you have this, because it also gives the security to the people who are buying from you. What is something unusual about you? What is unusual about your design? What is unusual about your story? What is unusual is your key selling points. That's what gets customers talking. What is that golden nugget about your brand that makes it different? You know, is it hand rolled? Is it handpicked? Is it from the mountains of, you know? So think about those key selling points also when you're telling that story. As I said, tell your story to everyone you meet, because I feel like it's like a process change. The more you tell is the more you're advertising, which is the more you get people to go back to your Instagram, go back to your Facebook, probably go to the supermarkets and create demand for your product. Hey, I keep hearing about this pear, and this woman has this pear, and I saw the photos of the pear. Do you carry her pear? You know, so you want it in your own way. Please, you know, create that own hype and luster around your brand. Jody, go back to the other slide. I think someone wants to photograph it. Can we move the people to move us to the left so she can get. Yeah, great. Okay, so this is a really good quote. We have to create experiences that perhaps are only had by a few, but compelling enough to fuel a conversation with many. So this kind of reiterates what we said before, that you want to create that experience, that experiential marketing that incorporates a holistic set of conditions so that people keep wanting to hear about your brand. They keep wanting to know what's next, what's happening. So even though you're posting, don't just post and buy me, buy me, buy me. Nobody wants that. Social media doesn't operate in that manner. Social media, the next generation wants to be, they want to be caressed. So they want to see your bottle, yes, but you also want to show them other parts. They're not the sales target team anymore. No, they want to hear, okay, they want to see your bottle where it's being made. They want to hear how to use your product. They want to be spoken to. They want to be communicated to, engaged. So the sale posts won't get us anywhere. So we really have to help to bring loyalty. And by building loyalty, you give them what they want, which is interaction, digital interaction. Next slide, Jody. Okay, so I want you all to photograph this page if you can, with your phone. Take off the flash. So you want to create trust. Trust is a really
Hello, everyone. Excuse us. I think that we have just a technical challenge with the connection.
I'm back.
Yes, now you're back, Tamia. Good.
Okay, so you want to think about how your character, the final steps, inspiring a genuine response. You know, you really want to learn to communicate. You really want to know who you're communicating to and how to communicate. And that will become your brand story. It's not a rocket science. It might be that your 3 colors are this. It might be that your mother taught you this. It might be that you only had $10 and you could only afford this. But those little elements create the brand story, create your brand voice, and usually very successful brands show the bad and the good, and that's really a positive thing. Next slide, Jody. Okay, so you want to figure out who is your target. Where does your target live? What's the age and gender? What's their lifestyle? What's their behavior? So when you think about these things, it's easier to set an ad. It's easier to know how you're going to speak to them. It's very important to race, nationality, religion. So this is another screen you guys should take a photo of. But you want to tick all of these boxes. I know it's a lot of boxes, but you want to tick all of them, because when you're setting your online ads, it's going to create a wow moment for you. So maybe you're selling a product that is very healthy. So that's the person's lifestyle. So when I'm setting my ad, I'm going to want to tick yoga, people who do yoga, Pilates, people who go to spas. So that's the lifestyle part. Then behavioral occasions, maybe it's people who are going to parties, having a birthday. So you want to really go through these boxes and say, okay, this is my ideal person. Because when you go in the back end of Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, you're able to choose. You're able to choose these things. You're able to choose people with degrees, people within 5-mile radius of the supermarket you might have your stuff in, or you're having that pop-up shop. So it's really a different thing now. Then you can also pick people that are within the country, or if it's that you're exporting, the country you're exporting to. Maybe you're in a supermarket in London. You can do ads from your home for a 5-mile radius of that supermarket. Then you can pick people that have behavioral patterns around who would buy your product. So you want to really take your brand and answer all of these lines. And then that would help you know, this will make a wow sense moment when you're setting your digital ads. Also with when you're speaking to the customer, because now you'd say, okay, well, if it's Gen Z, they don't like a lot of wording. They want a one sentence and it has to be catchy and have everything in it. If it's, you know, am I speaking to a woman? If I'm speaking to a woman, should my tone be different than if I'm speaking to a man? So all these things now create your brand voice. So when you, after filling out this page, you can now say, okay, well, this is my ideal customer. This is my brand voice. You may not have one customer either, because every month you're going to now set your ads to different people. So maybe this month you decide, okay, I'm setting it to people 25 or 20 to 45 that go to the supermarket that like foods made with seafood, because maybe one of our products is good to go with seafood. People who cook at home, people, there are just these millions of things you can put in the back. So it's very important to fill out this and to decide that, okay, this is my first person, second person, third person. Then after you set a bunch of ads, you will really see who your target is. Next page, a digital footprint. So everybody keeps telling you, you need a digital footprint, you need a digital footprint. Well, really, what is it? A digital footprint is when you have hashtags that are to your brand. You have Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, but you can be found. So a digital footprint isn't just having it, but you have to be able to be found. So you need to really make sure that you have all the key selling points. You have a hashtag campaign, you have Facebook, Instagram, all of them must have the same name. I remember when I started my store, and I started my store as Posh. That was the brand. And then there were 4 other Poshes. So you really want to think about these things, that on every platform you have the same name so we can find you. Also hashtags, also hashtag of the country you're in, especially for export reasons, and hashtag of all the different things that you offer as well. They actually hashtag on Google, if you go and put in hashtag calculators, they're calculators that you just put in what you sell or whatever, and they'll bring up hashtags for you. You get about 40. And you clean up to like the best 10, and then you add your own unique ones, you know. Next page, Jody. All right, let's Google you and see what exists. Can we have 3 hands raised? And they can please tell us their company name so we can Google them.
Okay, so we have many. We'll have to choose here.
If I could get 3. Go to Google.
So we will do it in the order of the people that raised their hands. So first we have Salim Oy.
Okay, so go to, okay.
So Salim, can you hear us? I think we can, if you unmute yourself, yes. Salim, you can tell us the name of your company.
Okay, I just put it in the chat. It's SCUBBLE.
Hold on, let's go to Google. Okay. All right, give us the spelling again.
SCUBBLE. Yes.
Okay, so where are you located?
Belize.
Okay, so we see that your Facebook comes up 3rd. So let's look on his Facebook. All right, so keep scrolling down. So we see that you have a Facebook print. Jody, go back and let's see if he has an Instagram. Do you have an Instagram?
Yes.
Okay, scroll down, let's see. That Scrabble, is that hashtag yours?
No.
No, Jody. No. Tell us when you see it.
Yeah, all those pictures
Wow,
are
so
mine.
you're on TripAdvisor. So that's another
Yeah.
part of your footprint.
All those pictures up there as well.
Those circles. Okay, Jody, go to images.
Yeah, all the top.
Okay. So all of the top is you.
Yes.
Okay, so you do have a digital footprint, and clearly you can be found on TripAdvisor and other things. Do you have a hashtag campaign that you use?
I'm not really sure about it, but I'm also on YouTube as well.
Okay, but you want to get a hashtag campaign. So if somebody's looking for things to do in Belize, maybe it's Belize, hashtag Belize activities, or Belize for tourists, or you know, things to do. So you want to kind of think about that in the future, so that we can have customers create content. So when you go to images, the majority of the top images are from you.
Yes.
Right? And of course, your name must be your top hashtag. So we have to get that other guy that we found out of the picture and have you at top. So everything has to have that hashtag of your name, you know, and of course, the country you're in.
Sure.
Okay, thank you very much. What's the next person?
The next person is Water Trintres. So I apologize, Water, because I cannot spell your last name very well.
Okay, and the name of the company?
Pure Chocolate Company.
Pure.
Yeah, Pure Chocolate Company. Yeah, there you go. Pure Chocolate Jamaica.
All right.
Right.
Wow, so you're at the top ranking for your name, which is nice.
Thank you.
Direct trade. So that's the website. Go back, Jody. So we know the website is at the top. Oh, you're that man with the chocolates. Yes, I've seen your stuff in the supermarket, but I've never heard you say, hey, take a photo and tag to any of us customers. All right, let's see the Facebook now.
Yeah, Facebook is a little less, but Instagram is quite active.
Why do you not, is your Facebook as active as your Instagram?
No, basically at this moment, I'm just linking them. So whatever I post on Instagram goes directly to Facebook.
Okay, so do you have ads on both though? Because the real buying power for the supermarket is Facebook.
Okay, all right.
Because the people on Instagram are great. We love the youngings, but they're really not the supermarket lovers. So the supermarket lover is really on Facebook. So we want to make sure that we don't leave Facebook out, because they're the ones that, you know, your packaging is beautiful. Did an artist do your packaging?
Yeah, we actually, that's one of our core values. We partner with local artists from Ednamanli and give them exposure. Our packaging is basically their canvas.
Okay,
So
Jody, go back to the packaging for me.
Yeah. So if you go up to the bars, you can see the packaging.
On Google, I saw all the packaging, Jody.
Right, or you go
okay, hold on. Let's hear what your key things are. So you have Find Us, collabs, shout outs in the news. So do you cross markets with other companies?
No, we don't.
So you don't cross market with like a supermarket and say we're having a pop-up shop? No, well, that was hard during COVID. But maybe down the road, that's something. These are, open it up first, Jody. Wow, that's a beautiful, a very nice packaging. And the chocolate comes with that print on it.
Yes, it does.
That's beautiful. You've done an amazing job. Okay, thank you very much, Jody. The last person now.
Yes, so the last person, it would be Gabriela Agostini.
Okay. And what's the name of her product?
So our company is called CGA Caribbean, but we also have a brand that's really big on social media called Cedrus Bay. That's one of our brands, but the whole company is CGA Caribbean. And we're our main platform, where we have our website, but we really focus on Instagram. CGA, Coconut Growers Association, Caribbean.
Trinidad, is that you?
Yeah, Trinidad.
All right, so that's, no, don't go on the website. Okay.
Yeah, you can click to any of the other platforms through the website as well.
Join our okay, so that's really amazing that you have that data collection pop up. That's very useful. So then you have a mailing list afterwards for whoever is interested to go back and to connect with. Photographs are very nice. Let's go down to their Instagram and Facebook. There's the Facebook. So let's try this in reverse. What do you sell?
We sell coconut oil, margarines made from coconuts as well as soaps. And then 2 years ago, we got into skincare. So we
Okay,
do
so
skincare,
Jody,
which
go
is-
back to Google and put in coconut oil Trinidad and see if she comes up. Let's see how her thing was programmed. So put coconut oil Trinidad. What is your biggest product? Coconut oil?
Yeah, actually, we sell Simply Natural in Jamaica. That's actually our biggest SKU.
We know you. Okay. Yes, and you guys come up as right as we put coconut oil in. So that means that the back end of your website is nicely programmed. So even if people are just looking for products, you still come up and you come up on the top. Congratulations, you have a great digital footprint. Make sure that you have your hashtag campaigns and other stuff going on, so that in the future, people can find you also through that. I get, like, from my store, I get an extra 200 to 300 people looking at my photographs through the hashtag campaign each day when I post. So you can't leave out the hashtags, because sometimes people will just be looking for random coconut things, especially in the medicinal world. You want to get all the medicinal stuff for coconut, because coconut is a big deal when it comes to memory loss. So you can also put your hashtags around that medical aspect of it. All right, so Jody, can we go back to our slides? I'm trying to speed through now. Okay, so what are your key marketing factors? We spoke about this over and over. So you want to figure out what the product is. So this would be your pillars at the top of your Instagram, the different products, maybe the service or the recipes, how you distribute, where we can find you. And you need to build relationships and reputation. I don't like to be known for price. I don't like that, because especially when you have quality products, you don't want to be that lowest price leader. You want to think about the other parts of it. Okay, packaging trends for 2021. So for 2021, a lot of people are into storytelling. If you notice those bottles at the bottom that have sauce in them, and they have the story of that lady who's making the sauce and her family. The photograph at the top is very personable. It's not too much wording, and it's easy to look at, beautiful. You get to the point. So you want to also look at eco-friendly solutions. Financially, if that's not where you're at least have a brand story on the container. A good brand story on the container is that man who did the chocolates, who has the children from the art school that do his wrappers. You know, that was pretty creative. Illustrations and doodle art. Packaging shape, that's another thing to look at. How could you have a different shape from everybody else? But you also have to think, if you're going in the supermarket, it must be packable. It must not be a problem to be on the people's shelves, because then they won't take us. But you want to also pack smart. If you're doing door to door, you can even have a card that you put some sand in from the beach and say, this bottle was hand done and put together by whoever in your factory, and you've helped 6 families and we appreciate you. So it can even be that little card. So you don't have to always have these huge budgets for like what they're showing us now. We can find other little ways. Amazon even has stickers with the different food types. You could get that sticker. Maybe that sticker is your signature thing in your card. Thank you from hashtag and the sticker. If it's hashtag a coconut, hashtag whatever. And but you just want to communicate more and be expressive and not really use social media. Next slide, Jody. How do you choose your logo? This is very important. Don't overpack the logo, beg you. Simplistic as possible, so that when it's relatable. These are some of the greatest brands here. If you notice, they're very simple. The colors are chosen And these are logos that you can upgrade and change easily because they're simplistic. Next, Jody. Okay, social media. So we've spoken about social media. So the better your packaging is and the better your product looks is the more that people will be encouraged to photograph and hashtag and share so they can help create stuff for you. Go to the next page, Jody. So here you see where, okay, building relationships. This is one way of building the relationship. So you're in the supermarket and you're on the shelf. Maybe it's that you have a campaign that you would give away to somebody, free chocolates, free coconut oil for anybody who photographs us in the supermarket or photographs holding the bottle. So now you haven't paid for that expensive photo shoot. Instead, you've given away some bottles of stuff and you have creative content made by your consumer who also puts it on their page, which now allows another set of their friends to see, oh, this is a product that Mr. Brown uses, maybe I should use it too. So there's this thing about building that reputation. Also with when you're in supermarkets, hey, can we do a pop-up shop or can we do a cross branding? Go to the next slide for me, Jody. So, okay, this lady is a fitness buff, right? But she does this cross branding with these people who make organic meal proteins. So yes, she sells the clothing, but no, she's also cross promoting because whoever is buying that clothing for the gym, they also probably want the shape. So you want to think about how can you cross market and how can you make sure that it's not competitive with your product. Okay, influencer and cross marketing. So you want to think about the spa, the health store, the pharma, the hairdressing salons. Who uses your product? How can we cross market with you? How can we have you tag us and we tag you? How can we be beneficial to each other? We need to think about that. So this is the big boys. These are the big boys. So when you look here, you see where Coca-Cola has teamed up with McDonald's. Now, McDonald's, in your meal, no matter what, you get a soda, but Coca-Cola wants to make sure that they stay in there and Pepsi doesn't squeeze them out. So they do a lot of cross marketing and sharing of ad campaigns and ad budgets so that they create that great relationship. Some days, imagine an ad budget for you split in two versus you paying everything. Next slide. So here now, this lady, she sells different self-care products and she has body butters, all these different things. And she's teaming it also with the fact of the clothing again. So again, this is a lifestyle sale. So this photograph doesn't have anybody's face in it, so everybody can identify with it. It shows your product and it shows somebody endorsing your product. So now you have the spillover. Same thing here. Next one, Jody. And all of these are like giveaways. So the giveaway, so you'd say to this person, I'm willing to give you 4 boxes of my product. Can we have a cross promotion? So the person tags you, tags them, follows you, follows them. And the person with the highest numbers, you create your own hashtag. You look at that hashtag and then see who has the highest numbers and they win your products. And then maybe in the end, you ask them to take a photograph with them on the product. So again, now your consumer and your partner are helping you to make this content. Next. Marketing on a budget. So nobody can say that they don't have no money. Take your camera phone, go to that supermarket, hold up your product, photograph it, and create content. You have a phone, you have the most amazing tool that nobody in the 80s or 90s really had. And you have this platform that's free, technically, to get your product out there. So maybe your product is somewhere on sale. You take a photograph and you put that it's on sale for X amount of money. And you draw traffic towards that. You tag some of your other friends and see if they'll retag for you. And you also tell the supermarket that you're going to run some ads within a mile of their supermarket if they would like. So you're showing the supermarket person, you're really trying to work with them now. You're being innovative. You're not just wanting them to come in and pick your shelf off their thing off the product. You're now going to market their supermarket as well, you know? Next slide, Jody. So now here you see customers creating content. Now in the left side, it's a food store. And their presentation is just amazing. Now, people love to photograph food. They love to photograph beautiful bottles. This is where your packaging and your presentation really come in. Use the time, use the effort. It doesn't have to be expensive, but make that genuine effort into it, because the more they photograph and share is the more their community and their families see and the more people that come back to you. Next page. Okay, free software. Please take out your phone and photograph this. Canva, MailChimp, Buffer, they're all free to a certain amount, of course. and they can make beautiful flyers for you in seconds. It's just a touch and click, very easy. MailChimp, I think, allows up to a couple hundred people, but you're just starting out, so you don't have to pay for MailChimp until you've reached a certain size. So this is really, really, really important. Buffer is amazing as well. So now you have these tools to give you grade A finishes. They all come with templates. They all come with, they already choose the, you just have to pop your picture in and change the wording. They even choose the fonts to use, and they're all the latest fonts. This is really very amazing. So I want you guys to look at that. Next one, Jody. Okay, so you want to attract, engage, and retain your customers. So you need to know what sets you apart. We want to be seen. So we want great packaging. We want to target your marketing. So we'll have to finish that red sheet that I showed you to know who it is. And then most of all, you want to keep your customers happy. So if you really look on this circle, it's everything that you need. And I'm sorry I'm rushing so much, but I'm over time. But I really want you guys to think about this circle: attract, engage, retain, because that's how social media works. They want to see great stuff, they want to interact with great stuff, and then they will engage with you. Once they engage with you and keep feeding them what they want, you retain. So this is the little cycle. So you can take a photo of that as well. Next slide, Jody. All right, so I hope I was helpful in some sort of way. That's basically it. So we're going to open for questions now, Christina.
Yes, thank you very much. So perhaps, Temia, we can start with Nick Davis' question that he sent before. We have two questions here on the chat. So the first one was Jesus Moreno, who asked, I have noticed on LinkedIn profiles, I've noticed no LinkedIn profiles on your examples. What's your opinion on that platform for B2B content delivery and engagement?
Well, LinkedIn is good as far as, are you going to keep maintaining it? It's a little harder to maintain than Instagram and Facebook. And LinkedIn community is a very eloquent community. So you can't just post something on a one line and think it's going to float. So you want to have a footprint there, but in yourself, you have to say, am I at that place in my life that I can maintain this platform? Also, Facebook and Instagram are cheaper. YouTube and LinkedIn cost a little more when running ads and doing things. So you have to see where, so you must have something there. But I don't think that it is ideal to maintain LinkedIn all the time, but to have something there is great. But your Instagram and Facebook, the social aspect is a lot easier, especially for food, because that's where people would be looking for you, really, not on LinkedIn, unless it's an exporter or somebody who is going to be importing.
So, well, then the next question we have is from Nick Davis, who says, I love getting engagements to post, so tend to post less often, but with more story and more conversation. Is that right? Or should I be posting more pretty pictures and less engagement?
Okay, so what you want to do is go into your insights on your Instagram or Facebook page. And when you click on it, it will show you the time of day that the people are on your platform, and it will show you the posts that they most interact with. They'll show you within 30 or 60 days, I think up to 30 days. So what you can do is do a trial and error thing. So you post, well, we have been posting one way. So you can post that way and then try and post a different way and see, and then compare the statistics from the insights. Because the good thing about digital is everything is there. You can see everything in the back. So if you Google how to read Instagram or Facebook insights, there this checklist that you'll see that you can go through and then read them.
So then we had Reginald Andal, who before raised their hand. Let me just, I know that you didn't raise your hand again, but I'm allowing you then to jump in and ask your question. Are you there? Otherwise, we go to the chat. I think that you're on mute. Okay, so perhaps we lost that question. So we have many other questions in the chat here. So then we have, for example, Carrie, what do you think about to post the same in Facebook and Instagram?
Well, how busy is your day? That's what you have to think about. How busy is your day? No, in an ideal world, you can post different things on each platform, because the Facebook platform is like 35 and up. Instagram is like 18 to 20 to 34 or even 30. So you want to create content that would be transcend to those two age groups. I don't know if you can do that. If you can, cheers. But if not, you should try and have two different content levels as your time allows as well, you know. So maybe you make some content for Instagram and some content for Facebook. But what is okay on Instagram, sometimes the Facebook crowd who's older kind of very prudish to it. So you want to see if you can make two sets of content. If you don't have the time right now, just keep sharing it. But long term, you'd want to have two sets of content.
Okay, good. We have also a similar question, but not about content, but it's about separately targeting ads. And this is from Trishna, who says, do you think that I need to do separate ads for B2B and B2C?
Of course, yes, you have to. And then what I like to do is I run male and female ads separately when I'm doing Jamaica, because you don't want one set to eat up all of your ad budget. So of course you do B2, B3, you set those two ads, and then I would divide those two ads into half of my budget for female, half for male for each. And then afterwards you can look and say, okay, well, mostly maybe I ran my ad from 18 to 55, but nobody above 45 clicked my ad. When you look on the inside, so you know you're not wasting your money to show it to that overall set. So you bring down your ad and you tighten it. So yes, I would definitely set them separate. I also set Instagram separate from Facebook for Jamaica, because Instagram will eat up your ad budget during the day, and Facebook is usually during the night. So no, I don't want that. I've set these ads and then all the budget is finished in the day, and then the people who are at home in the night, who are my second set of customers, don't get it. So I set mine separate.
Okay, thank you for that. I know that we are already 5 minutes past the time, but while we wrap it up the conversation, I would really like to ask participants here to participate in the poll that I just launched, because we would like to get your feedback. As I said at the beginning, this is a part of a series of webinars that we're doing. So 9, we'll be here next week again with Tamia speaking about brand identity. But the main point here is that we also would like, as you see with Tamia, we want to make it very practical and very addressed to your business, your needs. So we're very happy to receive any suggestions that you might have. Please answer the poll, but also if you want during the week to send us any feedback and any ideas according to your businesses. And then I would really like to reinforce that we will be sharing this recording, probably publishing it in YouTube, or we can send it to you over email. We usually do that with all of our webinars, because it's very precious information that Tamia is sharing with us. So that's very, very important to know that we will be doing this with all the sessions. Good. So yes, I think that we don't have any other specific questions today. People are thanking. I will really like to thank Tamia for the first, and also for all the participants today. I think that it's been amazing, Tamia. You rushed a bit at the end because it was very important content to share, but we hope that as we will have other 2 sessions with Tamia in this series to get more of her knowledge, her examples on this brand strategy. So I would like to remind you that we will be here next Wednesday, and that we are here, yes, in case you have any questions, and as Alliances for Action, as an International Trade Center program, and also in partnership with Caribbean Expert, we're very happy to be running these sessions. And thank you, Tamia, for today's.
Thank you too for having us.
Is it Thursday? I apologize. Wendy, you're right. I said Wednesday and it's Thursdays. Thursdays always at the same time, 1 hour, we will be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.